Man, it's been a while since I've been out here, Heritage Park in Coleman. I used to come here all the time, of course, as you guys know. We're going to do things a little bit different. I want to get back to doing walk in the parks, but I wanted to try to see if we could get a live edition going. And because I kind of got a lot on my mind. Today, I want to talk about disappointing teams this year in college football. Um, and there's quite a few of them, believe it or not. So I think we could just go ahead and get it out of the way right out the gate, right off the bat. Disappointing team number one, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Boy, do I have a lot to say on my team. What a disappointment. What a disgrace. The coordinators, the players, actually, not even so much the players, man. Um, see, sometimes when you're watching a football game, you can kind of tell when a team's giving it their best efforts. You can kind of tell when a team is not wanting to give up, when they want to win. You can tell, like, I could tell that the players wanted to beat LSU. I could tell that the players wanted to, who's the other team we lost to? Um, oh, of course, Tennessee. I could tell the players wanted to win those games. The question is, what about the coordinators? You got coordinators out there, Bill O'Brien, Pete Golding, um, inexcusable. Now, Alabama fans have been calling for Pete Golding to be fired for God knows how long now, 4 years. Um, and Bill O'Brien's been the OC for the past 2 seasons. And even after his first year, it was up and down, and this guy needs to go. Here's the thing. Alabama has the talent for a national title. Their hopes are gone now because they got 2 losses. Could they still win the West? They got to pull against LSU and Ole Miss. Pull against those teams, hope that they lose, and they have a chance to at least win the division and make it to Atlanta. I'll say this. The talent's there. We brought in transfer receivers, Jermaine Burton, Tyler Harrell, whoever. We brought back guys like Ja'Cory Brooks. We have Bryce Young. I think the offensive line has some issues, but at the same time, it has improved the past couple weeks. In some ways, I'm not completely pleased with it. I just think, man, like Alabama is a struggle factor right now. And it kind of reflects on Nick Saban in a way because he is the head coach. There's a lot of people out today. It does kind of reflect on Nick Saban being the head coach. He brought in the coordinators. He's in charge of the organization. He's in charge of the program. It kind of falls back to him. I'm not blaming him. Not at all. But it starts with him. He's got to make a decision right now. Do I turn it around, right now, ASAP, and fire the coordinators, especially Bill O'Brien? Or do I just wait till the end of the season? Because I can tell you this. I told you, there's a chance that Alabama could still win the SEC West. A good chance. LSU and Ole Miss have to lose their games. Have to. And, of course, Alabama has to win out. But, such as the Ole Miss game coming up this weekend, they have some tests. They got Auburn at the end of the season. Say whatever you want to about Auburn. I believe in rivalries and tough games and rivalries. Um, Plus, with the new interim coach, we don't know what a team like Auburn could look like. What's up, Nate? Score prediction for the game: Michigan and Ohio State. It's kind of too early to tell right now. We'll get to that game in a couple weeks, but yeah, there's a lot. So Alabama is in a position where they're Citrus Bowl bound once again, right? They're having a 2019 type of season. They got all this talent, but the coaching staff and coordinators are not doing their job. So we got to make some changes. What else? What are some other disappointing teams this year? Michigan State. I thought with everything they brought back, I thought they were going to be pretty good. Let me pull up their record real quick. Hold on. I'm on my phone, so it might freeze up. Give me 1 second. Got it. Michigan State has played 9 games. They are below 500. They are 4-5. 4-5. They got more losses to come. I think they've already played Ohio State. I think the Michigan game's coming up. That's a team that's disappointed. I mean, they could win out and be 7-5 and have a quick turnaround. I think I predicted. I know I did all the Big Ten teams. I think I had Michigan State around something like 9-3, maybe. At least I think I did. Clemson. They haven't disappointed, but having that Notre Dame loss, got to be careful going forward. I think Clemson's in a position that we kind of expected them to be. We expected them to bounce back. We expect them to win the ACC. Expect them to possibly make the playoffs. And, I think that there's some questions on Clemson. You got a team like Michigan that is a little bit better than we thought. They're still good. They still are there to challenge Ohio State for the East. Has Oklahoma in the Big 12, have they disappointed? I think we've had more. Here's a question. Have we had more surprise teams than disappointing teams? I think that's a fair question, and I think the answer could be yes. Like, Kansas has been on a roll this year. Kansas! They're supposed to be a basketball school, man. They suck at football. They're a terrible football program. But they were ranked a little bit this season. They had some wins going. TCU came up out of nowhere. I like TCU to win the Big 12 and possibly get in the playoffs. I think that's a good possibility. Penn State, I mean, they always disappoint me because I don't predict, but I hope that they upset Ohio State and it's their year to win the East. For my grandparents' sake, they didn't necessarily like disappoint me. I didn't predict them to do that this year, but I had a little bit of hope, if anything. So, Clemson, surprising team. Okay, you want to talk about surprises? We got Tennessee. Came up out of nowhere. Disappointing that they lost to Georgia, but that's still, if they win out and that's their only loss, even if they don't win the division, they're probably going to get in one of those 4 spots in the CFP. Um, you got let's see, and again, I don't have any notes or anything to go off of. I think teams like Oklahoma have disappointed just a little bit. And like I said too, I think there's more surprising teams than there are disappointing teams. Let's see. Auburn really disappointed. I did not expect Brian Harsin. I mean, there were rumors he was on the hot seat, but we figured, not necessarily that he would turn it around, but did you think it would be so bad that they'd have to fire him mid-season and they brought in Cadillac Williams as the interim? That was a surprise. Auburn fans, I know I trash Auburn on here, but hear me out. I feel your pain. I understand. So, want to hear from you guys in the comments, whether you're live and watching this right now, or maybe you go back and watch this later. Comment some disappointing teams this year. Comment some surprising teams this season. There's a lot of them, for sure. Syracuse, a surprise team. Wake Forest kind of disappointed a little bit. They're not too bad, but they're not doing as good as I hoped they would. North Carolina's another one. I know they lost Sam Howell, but it's Mac Brown. Baylor. Baylor is another one. They're not ranked in the top 25. They've been out of the rankings for a couple weeks. This is a team that returned a lot on defense. Of course, made the Big 12 title last year. Had returned quite a few starters on both sides of the ball. Baylor disappointed. Baylor disappointed, for sure. There's a lot of teams, man. Can't really say much about a team like Cincinnati. They did lose their quarterback. I think they're running back some edge rushers to the draft last year. There's some disappointing teams, bro, for real. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments. If you're watching this back, what are some disappointing teams? What do you expect going forward for some of them? Fire truck. But yeah, just let me know on some of these teams that have kind of disappointed this year. Y'all know what to do. Thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I love y'all. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. I'm going to get out of here and enjoy the rest of my day. Y'all enjoy yours. I love y'all.